Welcome back to Spikes and Heels. I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Gwen.
Let's get right to it. The Attorney General of Washington, D.C. has just had a press conference as we are recording this. The press conference happened maybe an hour, 45 minutes ago, and he came forth with official word that they are filing a lawsuit against Daniel Snyder, the Washington Commanders, the National Football League, and Roger Goodell specifically. What they said is basically, you know, for those of you who know what's happening here in Washington, there have been all of these allegations against Daniel Snyder and several executives and people on the team that they made a very uncomfortable workplace for women. Let's put it like that. And they kept sweeping it under the rug. So they're coming forth now with a suit saying, hey, you all had your chance. You said you were going to do an investigation. You said that you were going to make it public, the results. They swept it under the rug. And they only gave us about 7 sentences worth of, blah, blah, blah. They never did anything about it. Come to find out that Daniel Snyder and Roger Goodell were in cahoots trying to figure out a way to cover it up and smooth it over to keep it going. So they're saying it's just time out for all of this cover up. It's about to get live, basically. So that's not anything that we haven't heard before, but now they're formally moving forward with it. She's put on her glasses, so this is getting serious.
Let me holler at you.
Okay.
We knew it was going to be a cover up when they allowed him to have the firm to investigate him.
Right.
So this is not no news.
Mm-mm.
And Thug Life, I don't care what nobody say. Now it makes sense how that stuff came out about what's your boy? Gruden. Because he was deflecting. He said, okay, they coming at me with this stuff. I'm going to throw Gruden out there to deflect some of this energy from me. Roger Goodell and Dan Snyder and the other 31 been in cahoots from day one about this.
Right.
But see, now he about to be in trouble. Now it's dissension among the ranks. The snake, how do they say the snake's going to eat themselves or bite themselves? Because now they're trying to get out of it. I didn't know that he had already hired in private investigators. He already had the dirt. I thought it was just the dirt coming from these meetings. No, he had private investigators following the other 30 owners. And to catch this, because remember, one is about corporation. You can't follow a million people. But he had somebody follow the other 30 owners. So no telling that's why I ain't nothing come out of that meeting or the meeting before, because they all in cahoots together.
Yeah, and they said
a waste of our time.
Yeah, they say it's very clear that him and that Snyder and Goodell got together and like kind of figuring out ways to just smooth it over. How are you going to have somebody basically involved with investigating themselves?
That's policing yourself. That never works.
Then the NFL said, okay, we got it from here, which basically is code for we're going to cover this thing
going
up.
No further than this.
Exactly. So I don't know how big this thing.
We're going to further sweep the rest of it under the rug.
Yeah, they released a little cheap statement at the end, and this is a whole report. So the Attorney General is saying this thing is going to be transparent, it's going to be open and live, or we're going to see. But
until they get some dirt on him, and then he's going to get acute amnesia too. At this point, let him sell the team and go on about his business, because this is never going to really get the justice that it deserves. They're going to pay these women off.
Well, but I think they're going to pay them off. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
They're going to pay these women off or pay whomever off. And I'm confused. How the Commanders how Chase and them get thrown up in here? They ain't do nothing. No, they said the Commander.
Right.
Daniel Snyder, the Commander.
And see, that's what I think. But he specifically continuously named them separate. Daniel Snyder, the Washington Commanders. And my question is, does all of this scare people away from buying the team because there's too much going on? Or do they say, oh, if I buy the team, I can come in and be the savior?
I never think about that, because the Commanders will go to, you know what's going to happen, Sabrina? And I'm going to hit the ceiling. If they do another name change or relocation because of this, somebody owe me about $1 billion. But I pray to God that somebody come in with some integrity, business-minded, and first and foremost, that wants to win.
Like I said on the other show, a lot of times when they have that much money, integrity don't went out the window. Hopefully they have some.
It hasn't. So let's give a little background on the quick response that we did last week. So last week, Dan Snyder hired a firm, a Bank of America firm, to do, when you have over a certain amount of, I don't know this because of my profession, but when you have a certain amount of stocks and things like that, they have to hire a firm to do your liquid assets. Like, what's the total amount, your net worth?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to liquidate all the licenses and all that, what would the team be worth? So that lets you know he's almost to I need a buyer. So he hired a firm, Bank of America firm, and reportedly the team is going for the team is worth 5.6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
He only paid 800 million when Jack Kent Cook died. He went to his children and the other owners at the time. I think it was only 29 at the time. Was like, we don't want them to own the team, sell the team. So
Mm-hmm.
they sold the team to Dan Snyder and his partners for 800 million. And this is the thing I found confusing because I only looked it up. He wasn't even a millionaire when he got some partners together and say, yeah, y'all come in, bring y'all money, give me $700 million or whatever. He bought the team on credit.
He bought the team on layaway, huh?
Look it up. He didn't even have the money. That's why he had all those investors. He bought the Redskins on credit.
Wow.
When he just bought them out, because now he has the money to buy them out. So that's why I was just telling his wife now. He got the man. You talking about? That's why I say he's a great businessman,
mm-hmm.
but he's not a good owner because of how he does things. So there are 12 people that they have listed, the top 12 that has the potential or the interest to buy the company. Buy the Commanders. So I gave Sabrina the list. We went over the list. I'm rooting for Byron Allen myself. Okay. I think he would be great. He got a little bit of kingdom in him. You know what I'm saying? So he would be great. But list the top 5, Sabrina.
Okay, so they did it in order of basically the highest odds to get the team and then on down. There were 12 on the list so far. Top 5, Jeff Bezos, 2-1. Yeah. Next is Josh Harris, who I don't know. I need to look brother Josh up. Okay. Matt Ishbia. I don't know you either, brother Matt. Robert Smith, don't know you. I guess I don't run a millionaire circle. So billionaire. You don't
run in a billionaire circle.
Billionaire circle. And then Byron Allen is 5th.
That's my dude. I want him to get it.
And so Byron would be the first majority, as Gwen explained it, African-American owner in the NFL. So that would be interesting. I think it's kind of a long shot.
Who I don't want to get it is Elon Musk, and I don't want the owner of the Wizards and the Capitals to get it.
Okay, and so it depends on who you ask. I'd rather see Elon than Jeff Bezos. I think we each have our reasons. Why would you rather not see Elon get it?
I don't like him.
I'm not a fan of Bezos.
I'm not either one. The lesser of two evils.
Okay. Anyway, and then Ted Leon's this, I wouldn't be mad because he knows Washington, he knows sports in this.
I can see why, but I don't want him to have a monopoly. That's my whole thing.
That's what he would have.
3 out of 4, there's not 100%, but that's a monopoly.
Yeah, and they're talking about the Nationals, like I said before. The Nationals are looking to sell sooner or later. So
I would rather him get the Nationals than the Command.
Yeah, but you're right. 2 is enough. Let somebody else have 1 or 2.
Exactly, spread the wealth. But let's just go back in time a little bit. So this 1999, when Daniel Snyder bought the team with his investors. See how calm and clean cut he looked, and he looked like he's gonna do a great job. We had a lot of positive energy around him. Now fast forward to 2022. Thug life. This is thug life. He like, forget all that. I'm coming for man. When he said y'all can come at me if y'all want to, I laughed for a week.
Yeah, the man is very calculated. I'll tell you that, which is why he's probably started this whole sale process. He knew what was coming down the line. He knew the walls was closing in on him. But I'm sure, I don't think he's going to go quietly into the night. I don't think he's just going to.
At this point, he might not have a choice. What else can he do? You say you got dirt, then you got it, then spill it.
But that's my point.
Dirt on you too.
But I think he's going to spill the dirt on his way out, is what I mean.
Okay, amen. You see, you ain't heard a peep out of none of them.
Mm-mm. None of them.
I had a private investigation. Just imagine. Now, not now because I'm trying to live a clean life. But 20 years ago, somebody. I was always a nerd. So all they would have got me eating. That would have been it. I know Gwen eat pig feet and chili.
Oh, they would have got me good then, honey. That's a whole nother story, but I could put it away. Okay.
So imagine though.
Yeah, that's funny. My father used to tell me, I'd rather clothe you than feed you. Lord, he used to always tell me that.
Now you can get it in. But yeah, So that there we have it. I hope it's definitely going to end well if he sells the team for us.
Yeah. So speak to wrap up the Redskins talk. It's been two sad things. I mean, the sale of the team is, I think, a positive, but two sad things have happened. We've had two passings among the Redskin Commanders football team family. Dave Butts, girl,
one of my favorites,
a member of the Hogs, girl. You know we love Dave Butts, has passed away. That was so sad. I was so surprised about that. So condolences to his family. And then Coach Gibbs' son, he has two sons. Yeah, he has two. He had just two, right?
Yeah, two boys.
Coy and JD, right? Yeah, so Coy Gibbs, Joe Gibbs' son, died in his sleep, they said, which is, again, we try not to get too preachy, but man, please love your people and treat people right. Because it's tragic when somebody dies in a tragic way, a car accident or something like that. This man went to sleep. You see what I'm saying?
Wake up.
And didn't wake up.
And pray to God it was a I love you, a goodbye call or something before he laid down. I would hate to have been that person that I missed the call and that person not hearing him.
Or even like how the Bible talks about, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Suppose him and his wife had a little blowout and then he go to sleep.
This is starting to come to a head, Sabrina. Them birds are still undefeated. Now, I didn't have them losing this game.
No.
I really wanted them to lose the game before versus the Steelers. That would have been epic for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have them losing this game. We did pick them. But man, I'm looking side-eye. Sabrina, I think you called it. It's going to be, if they lose any, it's definitely going to be one of these divisional games.
I think so.
I even reconnected with an Eagles fan. I didn't know he was an Eagles fan. How Julius? And he was even saying he thinks it's going to be a divisional game too. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we'll see. But I'm looking at them like, oh my goodness. And the defense look like it's gelling even better and more. And of course, Hurt and Brown, the best thing they ever did was to acquire Brown. I wish we could our GM could make moves like that.
It's coming, girl. It's coming. We're selling the team. You got to be patient.
You can help the fur make the heart sick. Good Lord, I'm in ICU.
Lord. Yeah, well, we on our way. Let's hold on. But back to the Eagles. Go ahead, girl.
One of the worst stadiums in the world to me that I have visited previously was the Eagles because I got assaulted and spit on and hit in the head with a battery. But since
they got on site at the stadium, Gwen?
They have a jail downstairs, whole jail, system checking, booking, all that stuff, court, mini court, all that stuff. So I'm thinking about going to the game on Monday. Keep me in your prayers if I go. But I'm thinking about going to the game Monday.
Girl, I hope this ain't no massacre on Monday for you or for them. I'm scared. I'm very scared.
So according to Julius and a couple of other Eagles fans I know, since they won the ring, because remember before they won their only Super Bowl a couple of years ago, they were the only team in the NFC Beast who had now won a Super Bowl. So everybody's saying, Gwen, you could go back now because they're calmer now. I'm thinking, man, I don't know, but I'm praying. So keep me in your prayers that I'm going to try to attend the Monday night game. And wouldn't it be lovely if we went? So this is how I'm going to trick them, y'all, because this is their Veterans Day observance. I got a Chase green shirt like this, so they ain't going to know, oh, you got that Commander emblem on the side.
They're going to spot you a mile away. You ain't going to be able to hide up in there. You better walk fast back to your car.
I want to pick the game that when they lose. And everybody is calling it. You said it first to me, Beanie. It's going to be a divisional game if they lose.
Yeah, because they have too much momentum for somebody else to take them out, I think. Yeah. And so the Eagles are continuing their reign at the top so far. The Packers are continuing their slide into the abyss.
They lost to the Lions.
To the Detroit Lions, okay? And
but hold it. Would we want to take from last week's pick list that we lost? Who said, I think we should go with the Lions because these Packers are sliding fast? Roll it. So next is the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Kitty Cats. Who you picking?
Green Bay. Slightly Green Bay.
Do we want to go with them? Do we want to do Detroit?
I want to go with the Packers.
But I feel like Aaron ain't gonna put up no points either. They may have a point because some wide receivers dropping that ball like it's a hot potato. And so if he ain't got nobody to catch it, at least they can put up points. Both of the defenses are sputtering. So that's why I kind of want to think it may be another L for Aaron. See, Sabrina, but I ain't gonna blame you because we was the team.
No, you were right.
Sabrina, I felt it.
Yeah, okay, let's put it out there. I'm gonna say it for the publics to hear. Okay, so you record this as we record it. Gwen is a better picker than I am. Okay, I'm just going to admit it. Then don't let this go to your head.
And I'm not a better picker. You know what? I'm not a better picker. Sabrina's weakness is her love. I need Sabrina to get in that town. You know the movie The Town when Ben Affleck say to the dude, I got somebody I need you to get. Don't ask me no questions. People gonna get hurt. Are you coming? And Beanie need to say, "What? Cause she just need to get in there. She got Cracker Jack feelings. She's sweet and crunchy and hard, and But I don't mind. My thing is, I love defense, so I'm always watching because defense can win you the whole thing. Look at the Ravens, the last Super Bowl they went. Their whole season was defense. Flacco wasn't no kind of quarterback.
No, Lord,
they had a running game and Ray and the Bulls.
That's it. And
so that's
they
how
say,
I get over on Sabrina defense. I look at the defense.
Yeah, so she's a better picker than I am.
So they still the Lockers. Now they the Slackers. They don't went from the Packers to the Lockers. Now they the Slackers.
Now they slacking now.
They sliding now. It's no way. They may not even make the playoffs at this point, Sabrina.
Yeah, and I remember Gwen be definitely on it. She said some shows ago how Aaron was blaming everybody around him instead of taking accountability. He did it again. He was like kind of taking shots at people on this team. And I'm like, wow, you throwing them under the bus like that? So yeah,
I wouldn't play for him. Remember, I would be when the ball gets thrown my way, I would run a different route. I know it's petty for me and they professionals, but you never know how these boys is dealing with what you're saying and how you do that to your. It's like change the team. You gotta have your teammate back. We need to improve. We need to do more. We. If you put we and don't speak French, it feels like y'all in it together. You can't just be throwing me under the bus and expect me to improve. Who does that? Before you correct, you affirm. That's one thing I learned as a parent and as a manager. Before you correct, you affirm. Say, hey, y'all doing a good job. I'm glad to see y'all running the routes better, but can you please catch the ball? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And speaking of that game was upset, the Jets took out the Bills.
And so let me say that for me, I wanted to open up my mouth and when we were doing the picks with the guys and say that, but I'm like, no, Jets are definitely in the top 10 of the NFL this year, which is sounds like a twilight zone.
But Geno done left them, done went to Seattle, and they ain't the Legion of Boom no more. They offense, you know what I'm saying? It's on 1,000. But they may have started some different play calling or something because you just don't go from dread to where they are. Something changed. Why can't that ever happen for the Commanders? We so stuck in routine and tradition. It's crazy.
Oh, we won't be. The tide is turning. We gonna stick on the positive. The old is going out and the new is coming in.
Okay, but 30 years.
And that's why we can look to the future.
All right, amen. But yeah, that was the upset of it. That was more of an upset than the Packers.
Oh,
the Jets
for sure.
Out the Bills.
For sure. And so since we're talking about the Bills, why don't you go back to what our good friend Jalen was saying to us and we argue him down? Wait. Jalen said that the Bills are not the best team. Who is?
The best.
It's the Eagles.
No.
I'm telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth.
Okay, no.
I just think that the reason why I give the Eagles the edge is because I think that overall their team is better, meaning offense, defense, and special teams.
You see what I mean? And that I went toe to toe with him, but he kind of got a point because look what happened. But I just don't have the Eagles that solid. They're doing a fabulous job. But when I think of an undefeated team or the best team in the league, they have had a couple of close calls or lucky breaks, I'm gonna say. They playing, they connecting, they do get the best team in the NFC. I would give them that. But now, Jalen may be right. They are the best team in the NFL. They have to get it now because the Bills went down again to somebody they shouldn't have lost to. So hats off, kudos to you, Jalen. You get the call of the week.
and speaking of Jalen and now Coach Barfield, we did a little bet with them last week when we picked our games, okay? And if I had listened to Gwen on to at least two of the games, we would have won lunch from the guys. But because of my feelings,
we lost. Love feelings. Don't be too hard. I didn't mind losing to. I was more mad that we lost to some men than listening to Sabrina. That was my thing. I was like, I'm not gonna go down to these Turkeys, but we gave them a run for their money because only one game separated us.
It was a 1-game difference, yeah.
It was the game that we Cardinals instead of the Seahawks.
Where Gwen tried to convince me, I think otherwise, and so me and my mouth. So anyway.
We lost, we would have won. Because I was like, when I was going to take the Lions, you was like, I am going with the Packers. Like, girl, I'm telling you, this dude is done. And I knew Tom was going to do better because the divorce is minor. So he ended up winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we paid our debt. We paid our debt to society. Otherwise,
yeah, we paid up. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all lunch. We sent them their lunch money. So
we'll get y'all another time.
We're gonna get. Oh, this is gonna be annual. I'm not letting this off the hook. I want to repeat. If Canelo and all of them could go, could go 2 rounds or bout number 2, like Wilder and Tyson on that third. You know what I'm saying? We rematch.
So one of our guys with the Commanders, Tressway, who's probably our longest standing team member now, he's the punter, Pro Bowl punter. He won Special Teams Player of the Month for the month of, I believe it was October. It's September.
That dude was beast mode.
Yeah, he goes
got the GOAT. Baltimore got the GOAT of the kickers, and we got the GOAT of the punters.
Which is so sad to say that our best player, not our best player, but one of our main best players is the punter. But anyway, we love Tressway. He's the NFC offense, no, I'm not offense, special teams player of the month.
And to cap it off, because Geno Smith won offensive player. Come on now. Man, I call him Geno No Capino. I got to come up with a new name for him. Because I can't keep going. This dude, remember he said, Sabrina, they wrote me off, but I ain't right back.
Yes. We done jumped. We done jumped all over you. We called Geno everything but a child of God last week. Now we ain't cuss at the man, but you know what I'm saying? We wasn't believing in Geno every week.
He come.
So Geno won NFC Offensive Player of the Month for October. So congratulations,
Geno.
And on one of the latest stories that just came out, the Colts fired their head coach. And of all people, they put in one of their old players, Jeff Saturday, here come the grandma glasses. She's serious. Jeff Saturday to take over as interim head coach. I like Jeff Saturday. He's a likable man. He seems to be a decent, upstanding man, but he's never coached a day in his life.
He only coached high school football. So you went past, sorry to cut you off, Sabrina. You went past all them head coaches of any color to pick a high.
So, here's my thing. Please don't click away when I say this, because I am not a play the race card person. I'm not that. I don't play that crap. But in this instance, I must say, like Gwen said, you even could have you of any color. You picked Jeff Saturday. Let there have been a former NFL player of any other color, persuasion, that is very close to the team. They wouldn't put him as the interim head coach. They might bring him onto the team as a consultant or as a this or as a that. You don't put him in the head coach, the head coach, not an assistant.
Team, 32 teams, and you put him as the head coach.
The head coach with no talent, not talent, no experience whatsoever.
It's collegiate high school, then collegiate is. I personally know 2 people that made it to the NFL as players. Mm-hmm. It's every level is a different type of intensity, a different type of passion, a different type of commitment, a different type of energy, whatever. So he has missed the main one, collegiate. That's when you pick up all the outside things. You learn how to juggle a schedule. You learn how to be more committed. You know how, man, are the players even going to respect his play call?
Oh, I believe that they will respect him. And let's say clearly, he knows the game of football. He played it. He's won the Super Bowls, all that Pro Bowl. He's clearly knows the game. And I believe that the players will play for him. It's just a matter of how he's going to call the plays. And maybe they have people in place to kind of do that. But it's amazing how he got that catapult to go to that position. And there's so many people of different races as well, but of mostly of one race that don't get that same catapult. They have to literally work their way up. And then maybe we'll look at you after that. So, man, I mean, I wish him luck. I ain't mad at him, but Okay, so our next segment is going to be kind of fun. It's called Ask the Cousins. Okay, this is what we came up with because Gwen's been getting some questions and we're going to answer them. Or, well, about me, one of them. And we're going to answer them today. So the first question is, okay, so we talk about openly about our Christian faith and the fact that we are Christians. But somebody said, well, if that's the case, why does Gwen have such a colorful mouth, colorful language? Why does Gwen cuss? Talk to us, Gwen.
I'm a new creature in Christ, and I'm just learning to do things differently. Growing up in my house, cursing was allowed, so I got what's the word? With elite status with it. So over time, it's taken me a long time to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And just recently, maybe like 9 months ago, the Lord put it in my spirit that blessings and cursing shouldn't come out the same place. Mm-hmm. So you do all this nice work and you bless people. I don't cuss people out, but I curse in conversation. Right. So I'm trying my best to stop. So please be patient with me because this is the one thing that I struggle with sometimes. When I find it hard to express myself, I curse. When I get excited, I curse, So I do apologize to the Lord first and foremost for doing that. But just be patient with me. I'm trying to stop. But I think I got one. I think I got half of one coming in a minute because I heard one of them questions. So I think I got half of one coming, and then we're done forever.
She ain't got no half no question. She gonna hold that and she gonna control her tongue.
I'm gonna try my best.
Okay. What's the next question, Gwen?
How about we answered this question before, but it would be unfair to make them go back in 2 years of video. But they keep asking me, why do you call her Beanie?
Beanie. Okay. Now I wasn't intending for that family name to come out in public, but here we are. Okay. So I've been Beanie since I was a little girl. It was either something by my grandmother.
It was definitely your grandfather.
My grandfather on my father's side. So my paternal. What is it? Paternal?
Paternal.
The paternal grandfather. So I don't know why he called me Beanie, but it stuck. Then my grandmother on the other side started calling me Beanie. Gwen still calls me Beanie. Certain people still call me Beanie.
We get mad if somebody call her Beanie that's not a relative. Our head is snap like, wait a minute. That's out. I'm glad they don't still call me what they used to call me.
Should I let her name out there? Never mind. Okay.
You know what? Since we've been transferring this month, you could do it.
Okay, I never did. I call you this?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I must have been really little.
My name was Goodaboo.
Goodaboo.
A good little boo.
Oh, Goodaboo.
So as I got older, my homegirls dropped the boo and just started calling me Gouda.
Goodaboo and Beanie. If that ain't Southeast, that is Southeast, okay?
Exactly.
Oh, and we're cousins. And we're cousins.
Okay.
Yes, and we are cousins. For those who don't know, we are cousins. So
yeah, first cousin.
Yeah. Okay, now let's get into the juicy question of the day. Okay, here we go. The juicy question of the day is DK, we're gonna leave it there, asked Gwen why she's not married and can he take her out? What you gonna say to DK, Gwen?
I thought about this question a long time, not about DK Pop, but my answer. Mm-hmm. And here it is. Marriage is very, very important to God. And I believe that marriage dating should be done in a capacity if you think you have somebody that may be husband material. Mm-hmm. I don't date, and I haven't dated in 3 years because I've been getting to know me and learning about myself. So how do I say this and sum it up? I'm waiting on Boaz and not a jackass.
Okay, was that a cuss word or was that a biblical word?
I'm waiting on Boaz. And the enemy has been sending imposters my way. Just quick story. They come, they don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't party, they don't club, but they don't love God and they don't love me. Mm. So I told to the Lord, since I can't, these imposters come, I only see the outside, I only see what's shiny. God, can you help me? And the Lord told me, you're not going to be picked, you're going to be presented to him. So you don't need someone to pick you. I'm going to present you. And the only way that I can be presented is if God shows me their heart. I can't see their heart. Some of the worst heartaches in my life has been they've been hell sent, not heaven sent. So my whole thing is until I get myself together, till I improve with myself, till I increase my relationship with God, I'm not going to be able to hear God if I don't have a relationship with God. It's one rule I live by love. You become a follower of Christ when you lay down your life and follow him and pick up your cross. So to sum that all up, DK, I'm sorry, Boo, but not right now. Maybe a year or two from now. I don't know, but it's not now, because now will be a distraction, because I'm totally getting to love me. My relationship with God has to improve. If I'm supposed to be a wife again, then I need to know the true attributes of a husband. And you learn that when you get closer with Christ. Because he was the first husband. You know what I'm saying? He laid down his life for us, you know? So I do have a desire to get married, a big one, a strong one. But what I'm not going to do is marry the wrong person. I picked my first husband. Literally, I told God, you taking too long. This man look good, smell good, is good. You know what I'm talking about? Let's roll. And when I tell you, when the minute I say I do, God, the devil said, gotcha. So with that, I say thank you. I enjoy our conversations and all that, but I can't right now. It's not the right time.
Okay.
And I don't want to sound religious. I do believe in the institution of marriage, but a lot of us pick the wrong person and we get married. You in it to win it. Because I got some slack about the Giselle comment last week. Those who don't know, we had a whole topic on Tom and Giselle. And I'm going to let Sabrina have her point. And my daughter Jasmine told me to tell you, she said, Mom, you have to apologize to Sabrina because you cut her off twice when she had good points. And you never let her speak.
Jasmine, so, I knew I loved you, girl. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Jackie told me to tell you, but here's my because everybody said when you can't, you looking at it because you want to be married, you football and all that stuff. No, God gives you signs, and let me tell you the first sign she got that this dude was the ultimate selfish person. When he was dating Blue Bloods, I can never remember her name. He got her pregnant. He broke up with her when she was 7 months married to start dating Giselle. And Giselle knew he broke up with her and that girl was pregnant. So right there, you understood. This dude is so selfish that he gonna leave this girl with this baby and go on to you with no babies and to be your boyfriend. So why did you think if he didn't care about that first child, why do you think he was gonna put himself behind your kid or you? You had a sign. God always give us warning signs. It's up to us to be tuned in and visual to see it. I had warning signs in every wrong relationship. I had them. I was so into person or so into my flesh, lust bucket that I couldn't see the past the you know, let's call it like it is. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, or pride. It's the three ways the devil take us down every time. Let's keep it real. And I was too focused in, and she was too. She had to go. She didn't know he was to go then, but he had potential to be one.
And but he knew who she was, though. He said, "Oh, I got this one over here. She's a little actress. Oh, I can have Victoria's Secret supermodel."
She gave that baby, you know, in their division, their main rivals at the time was the Jets.
Right.
She named her son, his initials is J-E-T. So a woman scorn. But yeah, Giselle had warning signs. So don't come at me about her and all. She knew who he was before she married him.
But here we go. This almost be getting into another show, because we end up doing is we see the person for what they are. But a lot of times people say, but they'll change, or maybe they'll change, or maybe with me they'll be different. And what you have to do is take the person literally right now as they are. If they never change, could you live with this? Because everybody has potential to improve, to get better. But if the person standing in front of you right now, if nothing changed, could you take them just like this? If you say no, just to step in and keep it moving, because this is what you got.
I might go out with DK and think about it, but let me put this out there. Just know that my occupation has changed because I'm a nun now. Get it? None. So that's what I'm saying. Take me for what I am now and not for what you think it's going to turn into. I am a nun.
Okay.
None.
Here's a whole other question. Man, where are we going with this show? So here's the question. I'm married, so this is irrelevant for me. For those of you who are in the dating game, okay? If someone says to you, I'm a nun, let's put it how she put it, it ain't gonna be none. Do you, is that a deal breaker for you? Are you like, I have to be able to partake of, to know, I'm talking kind of carefully because I have ears, but they understand what's going on. Anyway, in a relationship, is that a deal breaker for you if someone is a nun?
My last relationship told me that he said, you better not be a nun because we over, which kept me in did longer than I wanted to be because I knew it was wrong and I knew I was going against God, which was even more hurtful because when we parted ways and he went on, but you know, I felt like I betrayed God. Like I did all of that and still we ended up here. So that's why I say moving forward, you have to know where you stand and have your feet buried in concrete. I'm not doing that no more. So if people, my girlfriends have told me, because I, you know, am in that world, when you ain't gonna never get married, because ain't no dude gonna get with you. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because I know at least 4 people who have got married without having sex before they got married. You can't let fear get in that thing. You got to stand what's your S and B's with God? Like what are your standards and your boundaries? You can do it if you pray. And then you think about it, you don't have that heart and that heartache from that. Because if it's not the person for you and that person not your husband, you sleeping with somebody's husband or wife if they're not yours.
But they're not yours, right?
And you know that person is not for you. So get out of it while you can. But what I'm not going to do is be used. I'm not going to be nobody's placeholder. I'm not going to be used. Because they do that now. Oh, I'm going to rock with you to somebody that's thinner or somebody that don't have a gas. Or these things I can't change. I can change the thin. I thought doing good so far, but we'll see. But some things you can't change about. I want somebody that's not as loud. I'm half deaf and what do you want me to do? I'm boisterous. But we just want to just deep dive into that. But yeah, be that nun and be confident in being that nun. And don't be afraid. You won't be all right. And you get with like-minded, you get with a group of nuns and y'all have a great time. So with all that I say, thank you for the questions. We so thoroughly enjoyed talking
about. And then some more.
I wouldn't be too far, but you know Gwen.
And send in some more questions if you have them. Put them in the comments.
And not always about me. Sabrina got some stuff too. Tell all my business.
He was trying to tell some of mine too, but I cut it out. Y'all ain't hear that other part.
Oh. So let's get to this week's picks. We're gonna do the first game in England. Germany. It's Germany.
Oh, is it Germany? Okay.
It's Germany. So it's the Bucks and
Seahawks.
Who we going with? Geno.
You picking Geno?
Sabrina, I've been wrong. Now watching I pick him now, he's gonna lose.
Right.
But Tom out of that divorce. I'm going with the Bucks. He got his snapping back now. Did you hear Robert Kraft got married to that girl that looked like she's 20 and his butt 94?
No.
He got married. That's why they was mad at Tom a couple of weeks ago when they didn't win because they said he had jet lag for going to Boston to his wedding.
I thought Robert Kraft was already married.
That's crazy.
I thought Robert Kraft was already married.
I don't know what happened. He just got married. Look at that. Three or four weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, well, sticking to the picks. My gosh, I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'm taking the Bucks.
I am too. So next up is a big game in terms of the records that they had. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Buffalo Bills in New York.
The Bills ain't losing 2 in a row.
That logic makes absolute sense that they would not lose 2 in a row.
We almost beat the Vikings, Sabrina, so they can be hot. If we had a better defense, we would have won that game.
Oh yeah. I'm going with the Vikings.
Okay. So next we have the Giants and the Texans. I'm going with the Giants.
I am as well. All right. Next up is a game that just on first glance seems like it would be a mismatch. Jaguars at Chiefs. But something tells me that game is going to be closer than what it should be. I think the Chiefs will win. The Chiefs are going to win.
The Jaguars got a nice defense, though, Sabrina. They might eat pass.
Yeah, it's going to be closer than the Chiefs. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm still thinking that this is going to be Tomlin's first losing season. So I want to call these Steelers games.
Okay.
So the Steelers playing the Saints, and I got the Saints.
I'll go with the Steelers.
Okay.
Oh, we splitting on these games. Either some ground is going to be made or I'm going to fall further behind.
I'm going to be further.
Yes. All right. What do you think about the Cardinals versus the Rams?
My favorite division. And I'm definitely going with the Rams. I don't like Kyler this year.
The Rams as well. Yeah.
See what I said? They get all that money, Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
See what I said?
He has not been right since he got that money. Not at all. He has not played the same.
And they put a clause in his thing that he had to read the playbook.
Yeah, this is funny. They just showed a clip a couple of days ago of one of the players they lost at home. And the player who's not normally this vocal, he got in the locker room and was like, we got to step the blank up. I'm tired of losing at home. Do what you got to do. And he made the comment, he was like, study more film. And everybody said they wonder if he was talking to Connor because this was the Cardinals.
He
was like, study more film. I'm like, uh-oh. Shoot. Cowboys versus Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, lackers and slackers. Who you gonna pick?
Oh, I'm going with the Packers.
See, yeah, the Packers' back is totally against the wall. They have to win this if they stand any inkling of a chance. I'm gonna pick the Packers, even though I think the Cowboys
them, but
yeah, I think the Cowboys are a better team right now. But the Packers have to win this. They have to.
Well, there's no Okay, so my eyes on the Chargers a little bit. I haven't still figured them out yet. I haven't figured out the makeup of that team.
Yeah.
But they playing the 49ers.
In California. I mean, in San Francisco. Yeah.
They playing the 49ers, so
I'm picking the 49ers.
And I'm going with the Chargers.
Oh, we got a bunch of differences this week. This is going to be good. And our final game, which makes us very nervous, the Commanders at the Eagles on national TV, Monday Night Football. What are we going to do?
Eagles.
My heart says Commanders, but listen.
Bragging rights because of that heart of you.
What I'm saying is, my heart says I want the Commanders to win. But the logic says the Eagles. So I have to.
I got a feeling they're gonna get them.
Commanders, I'm cheering for you, but I'm scared. So I'm gonna pick the Eagles, not because I want to.
And speaking of Commanders,
okay,
we lost last week to the Minnesota Vikings. Thanks for the picks this week. Remember again, don't call me telling me your husband lost $500,
right?
Because he did to us. But you call me when he won. That's crazy. So I don't want to hear. But you don't call me when he win. But you call me when he lose. Right. But long story. I went to the game because it was veterans. There was our observance of Veterans Day at FedEx. So I went. He got a couple of pictures. Now and at the end of the show, because I had my family on my mom's side is service heavy, so we went and we had a great time. But let me tell you something. There's not a need to go for another reason. I found out that every game he sells 35,000 tickets to the opposing team. This is why a couple of shows ago, Irk said it's more of them at the stadium than us because he gives half of the house away. That stadium was a sea of purple. And it's crazy. So you set your team up to lose. I know he business minded, Beanie, because I wouldn't give 35,000 tickets to the opposing. I would give them 10.
Yeah, for him, it's not about having home field advantage and the loyalty of your fans. It's about money first.
He's setting the players up. He's setting the fans up. We got to battle them. We got to battle the element. And and I took a snippet. So look at this tray. So remember I went to the Maryland game. The tray was $18. And look at this tray. No fries. And the drink is smaller. $42.
And that looks like something that you can get from the dollar store.
Exactly.
That is embarrassing.
It's at $42. That was the loudest I have heard FedEx in years. Because everybody is excited. They need to keep Heineke. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to learn. This year's a scratch anyway. Let's just keep it real. You done gave the dude $30 million. He hurt. Stay with six-pack, but get him the tools that he needs to win.
Okay, you know Heineke's our boy, so I can't go back on that. But I feel like he grew up cheering, his whole family cheering and watching Green Bay, watching Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So he plays almost like Brett Favre. It's like he almost studied him and want to be a gunslinger like him. Because, Brett will throw an interception he used to in a minute. But he was a gunslinger and he gave it all he had. That's how Heineke plays. And so I want him to keep that same heart, but he's got to make better decisions. He completely shifted the momentum of that game with that.
That's what it took. That call back, that bad call with the pass interference with St. Jude's. We scored 6 and he threw that interception. That's all it took to swing the tide. And I felt bad for them because the owner setting us up. And Six Pack don't have the pieces he needs. We asking him to do something. They running that offense. They got that offense built like Wentz is still in the game.
Right.
You got to in half so Six Pack can see. Because I would have a bomb seat in the end zone. Show the picture of my angle from the end zone, Sabrina. I clearly see Logan Thomas open at least 3 times in the end zone for a pass. And Six Pack didn't see him because the offense that they running. Wentz is gone. Somebody needs to come in and develop this offense around the man that you have at the helm right now.
Right.
We can win these guys. That game was winnable. I was mad. I didn't have a long walk through the tunnels like I usually do because the seats were great. Thanks again, my cousin Malik. He gave me one of his seats. But I'm like, that's crazy. I really was hurt. I was hurt to see all that purple. I'm like, oh my God.
And even from the photographers, the team photographers, professional pictures, she would like put them online so that everybody could see. And it was so much purple in her picture. She's trying to get the best angle to get, the players and everything happening on the field, but all you can see is purple in the background. What's this? Some burgundy and gold, but purple.
But he sells 35,000. What's the stadium? 90. You sell 35. You don't sell all of them. Somebody bought them all, but they don't sell them all. So if all the tickets are bought minus the 35, 65,000, 25,000 not going to be sold. So right there, we even Steven with the opponent. Now every Redskin in this town, same don't date same. So if you go to the game, it's all we call them mismatch couples. You know what I'm saying? So half of the Redskin dudes or ladies have the Vikings significant other with them. So it was more of them than us. So Irk hit it on the head when he said more of them than us. But we don't want to support Dan Snyder until he sells the team. Yep. But it was Veterans Day, so I had to go show my love. See, I'm wearing my Veterans Day shirt right now. I got one more with Chase. But it was Veterans Day, so I had to go support. But man, it was horrible.
So thanks for watching. That was our show for today.
Have a great week. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Love someone.
Bye.
Bye.